I enjoy this platform here because it's an opportunity I get to meet some of the people that I would look up to coming up in the business.
Right.
And really, watch how you rock back now to watch how I'm going to introduce them. And really just watch and you know, I will draw my little copybook and take my pointers up from.
Right.
And I might, at that stage, there was no way in hell I was reaching out for this because I don't know how to reach out to the brother and say, hey, how you do that, boy?
Right.
So now I'm given this platform. I actually use it, you know, to kind of pick the brains of these individuals to kind of figure out, Dan, how you wired to reach there? Did you see this from before? How did it take you here? How was the journey? How did it feel? And what is next? All right? And a little birdie told me 19 years ago, there was a little situation that presented itself. And this gentleman right here might have been our CEO, you know.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that is true, but we go find out today.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, only show today, my brother in the business, Mr. JAIGA himself, TC. What going on? We don't know what we're calling here today. We're calling here everything today.
Well, these days, I'm kind of shifting focus, so I'm really introducing myself as Terran Calendar.
Yeah.
You understand? So
Full rebrand, come back out.
yeah, Terran Calendar, because it's just doing different things. JAIGA will always be JAIGA.
Yeah.
You understand? Super JAIGA TC will always be Super JAIGA TC. But my focus now and where I'm heading, it's under the platform and the premise of Terran Calendar.
Good vibes, brother. Good vibes. Welcome to the show. Vibes
Yeah,
and
man.
vibes.
Love.
All right, bro. Any truth to that statement before, 19 years ago?
I'm not quite sure. I had opportunities. I had opportunities. No. I had opportunities back in the days. I spearheaded a lot of major networks and frequencies, so I can't really put my hand on it and say, okay, yes, but I knew the owners quite well.
Yeah.
We had a great relationship. So it's a possibility. Maybe discussions was going on and I just went a different direction. So I don't know. I can't say it's true or false, because I know many moons ago I was in rooms. I was fortunate to be in a lot of great rooms along my journey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to hear about some of those rooms here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so we started, boy, Terran's boy. Let me start.
Terran.
Sorry,
No
Terran.
worries.
Where we starting from? First
I
step,
don't know.
how did you get into the song system business? Because I was told that you started off in a song system.
Yeah, Radioactive to be
Radioactive,
precise.
yeah.
And fortunately, fast forward, because one thing you can see that every member of Radioactive went on to be somebody
Yeah.
great.
Yeah,
So for those who don't know, Radioactive was comprised of Quincy Hopkinson, aka Hoppy,
right,
a Scotch,
Yeah.
Dean,
yeah,
aka DJ Dane, Lord Hype,
right,
John Boy,
right,
Rodney Gordon,
Right.
Andrew Bowen Piper, who is now a head program director out in Saudi.
right.
All right, and everybody was affiliated with Radioactive, has really went on to do great things in their own right. So yes, I started, but that's not where the beginning was. The beginning for me really and
Yeah,
truly
we get the
came
beginning.
from just the son of a Tibigonian, a very strong, proud man, a reverend, who believed that a man have to find his way.
Right.
So I grew up in a space where he told me he came to Trinidad bare feet with oil on his feet, and he bought his own shoes. So a man has to do the same. So my father never bought me shoes.
Serious?
Right? Yeah. So at 13, I started hustling in the market. Wow. Right? So I used to do dry goods. That's how I started. Also,
Which market is this?
Sawa, born and grow Sawa.
All right, let me paint it nice. All right,
Right?
Sour.
Sawa market.
Yeah.
Right? So I used to sell dry goods. Went on from that to food stall, and then evolved into barber shop and them kind of things. You understand? But music was always good. Anybody know, everybody loves music. Music is one
Yeah.
of the most soothing things in the world. Music is medicine, regardless of what it is, especially if you're a fan of music. And I was a fan first, meaning I love listening to music. I had uncles and neighbors who were DJs. So I grew up around watching men. I was fortunate to be around Primus, aka Production Songs, that is Pro Father.
All right.
Right? So in the summertime, well, holiday vacation, you used to go with him to pack box in the Triangle. Triangle was the big party zone in Arangwes. So as a youth man, 13, 14, 15.
Triangle down by the savannah. What do you call it, the triangle?
The Triangle is right when you go by the school before you reach MTS. It's have a
Yeah,
little
yeah,
thing
yeah,
there, it's
yeah,
a
yeah.
party, like where all the chutney used to be.
Yes.
And them fellas used to put sound system there, so I used to go there and help pack box.
Right.
So that's a community thing. That's being around the music. And as life will have it, I was always someone who wanted to take chances. So in my barbershop, them time pagers was the thing. Pagers. People had pagers.
Yeah.
There was a company. Owners of this had owned a company called Polypaging. Right. That's how I met them in the first place.
Yeah.
Right? And I met a man called Lindsay Gillette who was arguing outside, trying to explain to them that the way they function doesn't make sense. For street men.
Yeah.
Because I'm a parlor, I'm a barber shop. Right. Men want to get pager and thing, and it's not accessible at the time to them. Right. So I went in to make noise. At this time, I youth man, I was 17. I started to drive yet. And he pulled out a piece of paper. And he put a dot on it. And I was fortunate that bounced up him and Satu Ramchan, who's the general manager of the company at the time. Right. He pulled a piece of paper and he put a dot on it. He tell me what you see. I said, a white sheet of paper. He's like, what? That's not how that exercises go. Normally everybody sees the dot because you see him take the pen out and put a dot on a clear piece of paper. But I told him in that moment, I said, I always see bigger than the dot. And in that time, I was offered a position to what all they know now as retailers for B-Mobile and digital and thing. I was offered that at the time in my barber shop and in my parlor to hustle pages. And in doing that, one day I went to a ministry right around here to present to some people bulk buying. To buy pages in bulk. I want to sell them 125 devices. And as a youth man, I telling you, I travel.
You give me real trouble with that right today.
I travel.
You can talk to him, but yeah.
You understand? Yeah. I do so. And who was the person I had to present to was Kwesi's mother, Mrs. Hopkinson.
Right. Serious.
And in doing so, she was like, yo, who's you? Youth man, how you meet my son? All they are the same kind of vibes. But he that's home, that's only music. And when she say who he was, then them days, Radioactive was billing like an undercurrent. Radioactive sound system was the undercurrent song. Like they were real pushy up and trying to get in all the party. And remember, we youth men, you're looking to party still.
Hold up. I try to make, and I'm making a back and here. But we had Johan last week, so I want to know, you being from Sawa, cell construction going on, what there was a wrong at this time? What was going on?
Of course it was a wrong. So my best friend was part of cell construction, like Dion, Papa D.
So why your mind wasn't to go there?
No, because as I'm telling you, what happened was when I met his mom, and she invited me to come and meet him, and I went down there.
Yeah.
You know when something just happened, bro, it just click. It just click. When I meet Happy for the first time, it was that. And for them, I was an anomaly. Because these are youth men living home by their parents. I wasn't living home with no parents. I had full apartment and everything. I had the house at 8 disrepute. You understand? My house was the house
at wax.
Boss man, you can do everything under the sun by me because there's no parental guidance. And for them, a youth man at that age, with your own place, who cooking, you can have girls, you can do this, you can drink, smoke, and all kind of things. It was like, whoa. That was like real pace them time. You understand? And it's in the East, you remember? In those days, youth men live in the West, who go in Fatima and KRC and thing, and they live in the lighthouse, so come up in the hood. They're like, what? This is it? So that's where the connection started. And from there, you understand?
What school you went though?
I went to school in the East. I went Sawa, then I went St. Joseph College. I went Sawa for 2 years. Sawa Secondary was book, and then I went St. Joseph, right? So it so happened that while all that going on, you know your father, them start turning 18 now. So my father, being who he is, he come and he say, bro, go and check so-and-so. In them times, you know, they believe you have to have a government work. Go and check so-and-so, and that's your job, to be a prison officer.
Wow.
Because at the time, my father is the guy, if you watch you fine print, wrote the legislation for YTC, but he did the buy book and all the policies and things for small men because of his work in the clergy and blah, 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 blah. So he did all of that. So he was very heavy into that, right? And he was also part of the prison service as an active prison officer, but he was really a reverend. Right? So he was a superintendent at the time. So he had play. So on my way up the road now, remember you had to take a train. You're going to meet Monday morning. I heading up the road. I know it's in 18. My birthday is 16th of May. So they was taking in a squad like in April, May, like June, somebody was taking a batch. So I going up the road. When I reached Crab Junction though, that is when it happened. As I tell everybody now today, the two most important days of a man's life is the day he was born and the day he figured out what he was born to do. In that maxi, that's when I figured it out. I stop in the traffic and I just watching around and I see there's a lady up St. Mary's Bakery at the time of the junction called Anne's Barbershop. I seen Anne sweeping she barbershop. I seen this lady in a barbershop and I watching the traffic, the Maxine going it on red. I press the bell and come out. I never went to the prison.
Wow.
I went by Anne and I say, looking for anybody because I couldn't go back home and tell my father to have a walk.
Yeah.
Right? And that walk at the time, he watching down at me like nothing. My father, did not have a real conversation with me for like about a year and a half. After that incident, that your mother had get involved, I trying to explain to them. Them times you can't have conversation with your parents. He just felt embarrassed. I embarrass him. People waiting on me. I never go. It's a waste of time.
Yeah.
And bro, all them time I have my little food stall and thing, you know. Right? I went by this lady. I went by this lady.
Yeah.
And start to sweep and thing. As I tell everybody, at the time I was the greatest barber, but as the most known and most respected. Because I saw a niche in them days. Them days Q-Up was hot with little man selling little weed and little drugs and thing, right?
Yeah, you do what you want.
So I end up being the go-to person for all that to go turn up on a magistrate's court. So at 6 o'clock I used to come out. So all I trim in is hot skull. My clients is only men who have to face the magistrate every day. So and the men that's looking for mark and a little quick line. You're going to call me. You're shooting, but you want to look neat. Yeah, and that's why I built my name in Q-Up as a barber. And as that started to happen, inside a year and a half, my father and talked to me about 9 to 10 months into that, I get the opportunity to get my own shop, and that's when I went back with my father. So I could never turn my back on him in terms of the support I got from my father. So that's why now when I do my mentorship and talk to them and I show them the importance of a father. A lot of people and a lot of women believe that they don't need to be in a house and the children don't need a father, but fathers are very important. The saddest thing you'll ever see, I did a lecture the other day for 112 boys. And 104 boys, and 6 of them alone knew their father.
Wow.
And this is right here in Trinidad.
Yeah, what do you mean?
You understand?
Yeah.
So that's a whole next thing, but that's where the journey really started. And from there, while that was going on, the music was at the side. Me and Hoppy pumping. I started the thing and we started rolling and we started to go party. So why is I thinking on the weekend we slamming and then Radioactive started to build an enormous name for themselves. And I had an accrement of hustle. So I used to be saying things like Radioactive was one of the first DJ songs at that time, outside of the big names like Signal and them, that had credit.
Right.
I created credit for Radioactive at Cleves. Sometime Cleves' daughter running Cleves, and he had credit. And in those days, record is king.
Yeah.
The man to have the hits is king. So it used to be a fight between we and Mary Perry, because Mary Perry was working for Club Coconuts, which is Johnny Soon, who had all the bread. Them had control the space. That when records land Trinidad, them have all. You can't get nothing. So you have to find our way in. So we wiggle our way in. And them times we used to real move. But you must borrow record I take from Signal. And every time we go in party and you're taking man. That's what that's how the journey started. So it started there. And everything else, as I say, is evolution. But the most important thing I want to let you guys understand is when a man born, or when you figure what he was born to do, the sky's the limit. I knew from a very early age what I wanted. So I knew I wasn't going to work for anybody. I was never going to be it. I was never going to get a job. I was never going to have to sign in and clock in anywhere. I knew that from a long time. So I had to figure it out. And I figured it out without being in a space like with my parents, because I was on my own. You understand? So I figured it out very, very early. And yes, you have struggles. And one thing I was just talking to Junior Lee and them outside, right? And telling them it's sad that who I am now. You have to remember this. Sometimes somebody will come and visit you, right? And they're knocking on a door that you're not living in anymore. Who I was 20 years ago is not who I am now.
Right.
The place I was 20 years ago is not where I am now.
Correct.
And I encourage people to unlearn a lot of things, because we have learned so much things that are not really right. And in that timing, you understand, I didn't have a me. I didn't have somebody who I could have reasoned with and actually put you on a real game. Granted, I always give love and respect to Iowa George, not to Iowa, because Iowa single-handedly pulled me from something and gave me an opportunity, put me in a platform to see the world. Yeah. I was fortunate to tour with him for 13 years, and in that 13 years, that is how I understood the business of soca and was able to rub shoulders with the key people in the industry in terms of the old and real heads now.
Yeah, how you not meeting Iowa though?
Was Radioactive playing in a dance at watercolors.
Yeah.
We are playing on watercolors, and Queasy had this idea to do 2 pillars. Signals like what?
2 what?
Pillars.
Right.
He and Dane on one riser, me and John on the next riser. And Radioactive was going to clash themselves. Tune for tune. In the party. Same song.
Wow. Yeah.
And in them times, we used to take real risks. Whereas the men, like, no, you see it happening now, but I talking about in the 90s,
yeah,
late
back
90s.
in the days.
Bro,
Yeah.
We playing Michael Jackson and thing in party.
Wow.
And had the place wild.
Yeah.
But how we was getting on, they went a custom, because remember them times we only watching tape. You're watching Mataran tape and Soul Love and Bass Odyssey and Squinching them. So we only mimicking tape.
Right.
The Iowas and all of them never see that. But they weren't a part of that. So when he see me getting on like that, he come to me and say, bro, who is all here, boy? Who is you? tell him. He said, I have this idea. He had an idea. It was really his idea. I was the man instrumental in going on the road with road DJs. You have to give him that respect. He's the first person to do it. I was the first man to be a touring soca DJ. Everything you've seen, everybody, all ding dong and then pass you. I was the man who opened the door for that.
Right.
The first man to ever tour with an artist on the road. And while doing it on the road, when things started to get rough and recession hit and they couldn't move with bands, I started to play for Garland, for Saucy, for Faye, for Marsh, everybody. And then it became a trend because it was about economics at the time. They couldn't afford to bring bands a certain era in soca, so you had no choice but to work with a DJ. And for me, I made it flair because I was one of the few, because you wouldn't know this. Back in, like, I talk in late 90s, early 2000s, if you go like a Army Fet, you can go on the stage. He's a DJ now, long time Army Fet, you had to go on the stage, but all behind. You not nobody.
Yeah.
No promoter is putting no DJ on no stage, bro. I was the first DJ locally to go on stage in a fire fight with Iowa. And I'm talking about band song checking. That used to be the biggest disrespect. Why you looking to sing? A man song checking, line checking and thing. When you're in top man, a man checking machine and thing. One. Real disrespect. You understand? We fight hard to get that level now, to get up to that space, you know? So that is where the journey really starts from. It really starts from that, and the music has been next state every step of the way.
Wow.
Well,
I didn't even know you used to DJ before and all too. So.
Yeah, I DJ for a long time, bro.
Wow.
DJs were mind me. You understand? DJing is what mind me. I did it for a very long time. But I found niche early. Unlike to others, I really toured the world only playing soca. When I say great is the art form, brother, people thought it was. It's not hype, but I live by that. That day.
Yeah.
That day. I live by that. That's the only thing that give me bread. You understand? Men, this take is joke. It's not a joke. And what people just forget to. Super Jigga TC, JAIGA, whatever you want to call me. I didn't come into this thing singing. I need to sing a song, bro. To be part of the art form. I've created platforms that a lot of people living and eating proper. I handpick men who right now very successful in the business. And I will continue to do that because I choose the hill I want to die on. I will die on the hill of art form.
Yeah.
You dig? That's how much I love it. That's me.
Crazy. All right, so let me go back to the Radioactive story, right? Because I'm trying to track your come up, right? So Radioactive, you went on and met Hoppy's mom. She introduced you to Queasy, or the Saturday song system thing. Boom. At what point Radioactive turned into this big song, Reach on Radio? You was a part of that movement?
Of course. That happened in the late 90s. Again, same thing.
Yeah.
Us always toiling. Radioactive was the song that was the talk of weekends. Parties in Trinidad used to be about the weekend. Whoever shot the weekend. Because remember, it didn't have no laptop DJ. It's real hardcore talent. So you had to dominate the weekend. And we dominated weekends into weekends, bro. Radioactive came into this game and started to take one of the plans that we had. And again, we were always forward thinking too. We used to draw up a plan to go to all the top schools, like the Bishops, the Fatima, everybody, and work out packages with them to do the bazaar. So we control all bazaar in the hot schools. Because we come with sound system, DJ, and full team. Remember, we are team. Me and John Boy could start the juggling because at the time, Hoppy's the star. And I always tell people, everybody can be Michael Jordan. You have to know your position and know your place.
Correct.
Radioactive had an organization where everybody had a say and everybody had a place. The talent and Quasi was like, I never used to talk. I always give this story. The man who really teach me public speaking is Hoppy. Hoppy got chicken pox a year in Tobago. When we had it was them time it's not Great Fat what it is now, not something in the early days. Come, let me go to Tobago, the real Great Fat, right? And bro, get chicken pox. And everybody turned to me and said, boy, TC, you gotta take it, you know.
So what's your, hold up. All right, before you go to that, what was your role before?
Again,
coming up.
DJing.
Oh, as in literally
DJing. And part of the team. Remember how sound system used to go? Everybody had always part of the squad. Like, right, when you're writing dubs, I was instrumental in writing dubs.
So wait. I sound like Radioactive with all their members. Only one mic man?
We only had one mic man at the time. At the time was one mic man, right? And when we double book, I would have gone with John Boy. But it was more John Boy used to mic too. John Boy was way better micing than me.
Okay.
at the time, but John Boy was a better DJ.
Yeah. So I understand. So
He was a better DJ. So I would have do some small thing, and them time is a real baby thing, is 1-1. Yeah, mic check. Yeah, big bad radio. Big bad radioactive. Nothing you're saying is garbage.
Yeah.
Right? Garbage, you're saying nothing. So bam, in Tobago now, they say, boy, it had to be you. So Quasi gave me a piece of advice then. This is years ago that I always carry with me and I always use it. Like now I teach and do everything and do public speaking and have classes and everything. I always tell them this one most important rule. When you're on stage, whether it's one person or 100,000, just look at the first smile in the audience and talk to that smile. Man or woman, talk to that one person. The power of the mind is, right? You ever see these exercises when you go outside and see everybody looking up in the air and you walk outside and say, look, you will look up to? Yeah. The power of the mind. When you engage with somebody and that engagement really tight, people want to know, well, what is that one, boy? So the party would feed off of that engagement. Just talk to one person. Don't study the crowd. And you start to talk to that person like it's you and them alone in the party. And like that, the whole party will operate like you're talking to them because they seeing you zoning in. Yeah. So it's like them you're talking to. And it's really that one person. That was the first trick. And from then, it started to happen more and more and more. I started to talk more and pull away from DJing.
Let me talk about that Tobago trip after the popcorn. What happened with the popcorn, the chicken box?
Yes.
What happened on the stage?
So on the stage now going out there.
Yeah, the whole part.
Boy, and hear this now. I get a babu. You know what a babu?
No.
Bro, going up there. Yeah. Big bad radioactive here. Yeah. TC, yeah, John Boy. And I say like, John, I'm nervous now. Yeah. Right? Because real people. So hear me now. Yeah. All ready? What are we going to mash? Yeah, John Boy, play down. That time, John Boy, the creator record, and reach on stage. A man said put a record on the turntable. That means a record. I record on the turntable, man. Got me like, TC, what you doing, boy? Wait, boy. Yeah. Hold it down, boy. Daddy. The people who selling drinks in the bar start to boo, you know. Men who opening stag and thing, you know. Right? That's what they call a babu, you know. When all the men and them in the bar a babu.
Yeah, that we say.
Bro, when men all in the bar, I talking about the men who selling drinks. What you want to see, boy? Boo, boy. Licks like peas, boy.
I feel you.
Licks like peas, but all that is part of the journey.
Yeah, that's the journey.
All that is part of the journey. And then from in that moment, it stick to me and say, I need to conquer that. I need to conquer that fear. I had to figure it out. And what we started to do, you see the song Radioactive was so good at the time. We started to get more and more. We're on a weekend, bro. We said overbook. And one of the things, when we got on the radio, we introduced something on radio which was singing jingles. Right. Singing jingles had us in our bubble. When we go in parties, we used to sing over jingles. One of our biggest jingles to the day, we had sing a jingle. I'm going club celebs. We come in club celebs. This is for real. Radioactive song. We coming down there. We used to take songs and do it over. Bro, I'll never forget that. As a DJ and sound system, that was our biggest night. When we pull up in the maxi by celebs, I kid you not, you swear we is Backstreet Boys. You know? Yeah. Bro, nobody can get in the venue. Yeah. The venue sold out 100 times. We can't get in the venue and we is the stars of the venue. Yeah. Never ever forget that. That is some of the memories that I will always hold on to. And that's the kind of innovation we had as youth men. Because you're thirsty. And we had a camaraderie that was just there to this day. Everybody good. It's never had riff and getaway and you understand? It's good to see that everybody grew and got older and figured it out. But that's how the journey started with the radioactive thing.
Nice. So radio.
We started in radio in in 2000s and in the early late 90s into the early 2099 and thing. That's when I got pulled away. So I went away.
Fly out.
Yeah, I went away, and that's when I hit road. That's how the Super Jigger name came in.
So that
TC.
TC was the name, right?
Was the name. Yeah. When I came back, Quasi used to say, every time this man touch back, he needs to get on like a super N-word.
Yeah.
He say, why you always have to get on like a super N-word right through? You couldn't say N-word at the time.
Yeah.
And then they started to say, you see, that is super, and right, we turn it to the Jigger, right? So they started calling me Super Jigger TC, right? That's how the name started because I was on the road so much with Iowa. Every time I come back, I try to come Trinidad on a weekend. When I'm free and I come here, you know, it's ranking thing.
Yeah,
you go in the club, them time you end up buying bottle, you're buying case.
Yeah.
Them time me and gal and ring on finger. So it's only case I start getting the thing and with me, Nuggles and everybody, gal and whole team, because it's Eastman and we come in and the coconuts and it's TTV and that's how it started to flow. And then bam, Jay-Z come and doing, hey girl, what's my what? When that Jay-Z touched, I was gold and I was the king. When Jay-Z dropped that song, you couldn't talk to me. Because every time I go in a dance and people press play on it, it's like me they're talking about. So ball and scream.
Yeah.
Ball and scream.
You know, yeah.
So that's when the thing started to get even sweeter.
Yeah.
And the next part of the business too that we again foresight. When the Wally rhythm came out, that was the biggest rhythm in dancehall for a long time. At that time, Radioactive had already started to have clout and position. So I started to make different. And one of my roles in the club, in the crew, was negotiations too for things. Quasi was the talent, yes, great mind. But I was the man who used to go and sit in rooms and negotiate, and me and Hoppy used to do that right through. We come up with this scheme. He said, bro, we had to start to do now. And I'd get a trick from Mataran. When we go in a dance, and we the headliners, we send a list of songs no selector can play. And then them times we have power to do it, you cannot play it. They're taking it out your record crate, and we used to send men in advance to make sure that it does. So when we reach a dance, it's guaranteed we go in and bust it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was his stance. And then some of the times too, it was easy because some parties you go, selectors can't pay for records.
Yeah.
So we used to have to go with security to watch your record because them days it's So we used to have that security. But bro, we used to spend real money, real bread on records. You know?
Yeah.
And them times we living in credit. I said, no, I'm telling them that outside. Them days, right? Remember back days, right? The only rest day was Monday. We used to go moon over Bourbon Street on a Tuesday.
What? Was the weather's rest?
Moon over Bourbon. That is in Westmore. On Wednesday, we used to go Wacky Wednesdays at Wishpad Maritime Building. Is there no other club?
Yeah.
Then Thursdays is Coconuts. Fridays is Base. Saturdays is wherever. Saturdays
House
is party day.
wherever
It's
thing,
house
yeah.
party, backyard,
Yeah,
wherever.
thing,
Tons of it.
yeah.
And Sunday we back in the nuts.
Yeah.
Right? So Mondays you rest there. And Mondays you had to go and pay your bills because Monday you had to go and pay for your record and pay for all the clothes they wear. So them time Wendell cash in no bus. So we had to go by Wendell every Monday and pay that bill because you only taking thing on trust. Because them time remember youth men, you gotta look the part. You're partying every night, you know, bro.
Yeah.
And let me tell you this, I'm the only person with a vehicle. Nobody has a car.
Wow.
So everybody pulling up. Then bam, one of us, and them times you have to rely on the little girlfriend. You have your little girlfriend.
Lean on that girl.
Who mother that wagon. So we started going real please. She said, lend me the wagon on the weekend. So the wagon is to the crates and bodies. And then when we pull up, it's full team, you know. When Excalibur had come with Excalibur Entourage, he built that name based on mimicking how we used to roll, and he just multiplied and took it on steroids. When long time in Slaughter reach a dance, it's about 45 strong. You know? When he bust a gate, promoter belly hurts, you know? Yeah, we used to go day 2. We used to roll nothing less than 12.
Yeah, boy.
Right? But when he come into the game, under that energy, and then what happened? At that time, in that era, everybody just clash. When I say clash, all of us was on the same network.
Yeah. So
So it was Radioactive, Jugglers, Maxi Miller, and Excalibur. Only one song wasn't there, that was Cell Construction.
Yeah.
So Cell Construction was the song that was outside our next network, and all of us, so we used to rail overdo it. In terms of how you bully the business, and in want of a better word, we bully the business for some years well. But at that time, I started to travel heavy. And in me traveling, when I came back in 2005, I came back to do a show called Soca for Summer. I had this idea to do Soca for Summer. And this was me coming off of doing pirate radio in the US. And I went to do an internship at JW Records for a year and a half, where I was converting records to CD at the time. And I had this mission to prove that Soca could play 24 hours without playing it over. Meaning I could play it for 24 hours without having to play back a song. Right? So I went to JW. I interned there for a year and a half. And I built my library by JW Records. And at the time I was in school by Alvin Daniel. He used to do a show called Calypso Showcase. So he basically gave me the Calypso Bible, which I studied, right? And when I moved back home, the idea was to do Soca for Summer. And George was looking to launch Bashment Radio. Stem off the same thing I was doing away. And that is the whole thing. And I was going, and that time is when Peter now launched Synergy TV on Ed Gordon. So I went to Peter to promote Soca for Summer. And me understanding with my business acumen, I said, listen, I don't want to just come and promote, I want to let it do a buy-in. So I gave 15% of the show to Peter and Synergy. And it allowed me to go on the television 3 times a week to promote. And me going and promote on TV, and people see me because them times I was out of the scene for a little while. People knew who I was, but Synergy was getting so popular. And me being there and talking nonsense and just selling the show, I used to sell it. It's like people started to call Peter, yo, bro, teach you have a real bad vibes on the TV, yada, yada, yada. And in that moment is when he had his Soca Star idea. And he came to me and he was like, bro, I have this idea. What I had was the music. Because the station opening, I had hundreds and hundreds of CD with my name on it.
Wow.
I had all the music.
Yeah.
He had a platform. So we hired a company to come, some girls, they came and they make sense out of the CDs, started get people name, information, the email address, the telephone number, started calling them up. So when we launched Soca Star, the first time we had over 600 and something applicants.
Wow.
Lining up to be a part of it. And remember this time you ain't winning nothing, eh? Fireball won nothing for Soca Star.
Hold up now. Here what I studying right now. You don't know what to say back then in Tobago. To come out. You remember when you had that come out?
Yeah.
That come out.
That
Take
come
us energy.
after, yeah.
Was it great? Everybody come out.
Yeah, that come after. But in Tobago it was boo boy, straight
No,
boo.
but I'm just saying that from having nothing to say to having one of the
Yeah.
biggest slangs on TV ever, you know, TNT, you know.
And at that time, the movement for me, my passion for wanting to do it was, as I tried to tell people, is when I was growing up, like when I was 8, 9, 10, and you go out to your mother and thing in town, you need see man who into the art form, they used to be fully dressed, right? Suit and thing. I saw Kitchener and Mr. Rocket, right? Well dressed. And since I was small, I always asked myself, Soca never had identity, right? If men come in here right now in that turban and cane and nice gold and green, sizzle and them, you know, that is reggae men.
Yeah.
If you see Mick Mill and them come in here and that diamonds up and snap back, flick back and them hip hop men. If Country and Western come here, it's big hat and boots and big buckle on the belt. Also come and just look. You know, look.
True.
So my energy in Soca Star, I had to take all the backlash. When I say if it ain't tight, it ain't right and all them thing.
Yeah.
It was a case of me trying to cater to our audience because I wanted people like my peers and young like me to appreciate, because I used to look at Soca as a whole man thing. So the only way to get hip is by doing hip things. That is why we were so flamboyant in Soca Star. Hence why, like, one of the things that people used to talk about is forget. Like, I had a straight, right? Every season I used to beat out 120 uptowns. I never walk on stage with an old uptowns. Every time I come off upon anyone. So every season I used to give it away. I always wear fresh uptowns every time I touch stage. That was my thing. And that was part of me trying to sell. It's not riches or bling, but trying to plant a seed for the young people, for them to aspire to something. That's why the vehicles I used to drive in them days was real loud. Them times I already driving 5 Series BM rim down. I was the first man to put that away. I used to call them car again. Them Safiro, them JK.
Yeah.
Black top rim, real dotish. Your name on the back of it and all kind of chippiness. It was not about trying to be better. It was about trying to show people that soca is just as cool as hip-hop and dancehall. And that was my energy. And at the time, it was the only platform that young people could see themselves, which is Synergy TV. So that's why it worked. And that was the purpose of me really doing that. And that's how that whole thing started.
Yeah.
And I won't go into all it, but like, say, again, what people don't know about Soca Star is that Soca Star had a lot of back things that people didn't see. Remember, people don't see chapter, they see book.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, all the artists were handpicked. That's how you build stories, because I went to X Factor and thing in England. We paid for me to go and do classes and see how reality TV is done. You have to do work. The people don't see them part.
Serious?
Of course, I went and do all the courses. But bro, doing a reality television show is not just putting people on
just pop
TV.
a camera, yeah.
You have to have a story.
Yeah.
You have to write story, you have to build story, you have to look for characters and see how you build on the characters. But you have to understand who is shock value. The people who won Soca Star, if you watch it and remember, were the people who were funny and people were interested in, not necessarily the greatest talent.
So hold on. Did you know who was going to win Soca Star that first episode?
The first episode with Fireball won on the night.
Yeah.
Everybody wanted Kimber to win.
Okay.
Kimber Cesano.
Oh, okay. I just want to know how much
Right?
of the script was written.
No.
up.
Everybody wanted Kimber to win, but on the night you couldn't beat Fireball. Fireball showed up and the people that love him and he come and he blazed fire. Watch me, the man was there about 100 big on in the crowd. You couldn't beat him.
Yeah.
You couldn't beat him, and that's just the thing. But the back end of this, like a story that a lot of people don't know, when Umi won, when I want to move that body, that was really Chucky song.
It was really Chucky's song. Yeah.
That's Chucky Gordon's song.
Wow.
You understand? But Umi was the Dan. And he was what we were looking for to build a TV show. A lot of people, feelings were hurt when not understanding what we were building. A television show is a television show. It's entertainment. But watch this. What they didn't see is on Saturdays when they had to go to Roy Tech to do training, money management, when they had to go voice training, when they had to go rehearsal. They didn't see that part. Hence why you have voice, pretty, and you have people who are actually great in the business because they were taught the right thing.
Oh.
I had a real, behind the scenes, it was like a job, you were employed with Soca Star. Once you're in the top 16, for 6 weeks, for 8 weeks, bro. Every day you have something to do. Every day. What people used to see was a live show in St. James and then what on the TV. But they're not seeing what they're doing Monday night, Tuesday evening. That we had schedules. It was hard work, bro.
Yeah.
Rehearsals every day, real drilling to understand the real of the business. And that's why they're talking about the laws of things, the licensing splits, meeting with lawyers, it's real things, real things. Again, people just saw St. James and then TV. And then final night, you see Dome and thing in GP and 18,000 train. You say, oh, the show was good.
You see how important things like this is? Because people will never know that, you know.
That's one part of it, bro. Soca Star. And for me, as I always say, it took 3 years of my life, bro, when I worked for $0.00.
What do you mean? You get it?
For Soca, no. The first 3 years of Soca Star, we made absolutely nothing. I'm telling you, made absolutely. Yes, I got money. I'm not gonna lie. Soca Star was good to me. I made money. But the first 3 years of Soca Star, like any other business, we made nothing. But I ensure everybody was taken care of. Bro, I was getting youth man Hilux, bro. And then the Hilux is 235,000. I gain man truck 60,000 in the pocket and thing. When you was 17 years and you got a truck and 60 in your pocket, you loud.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, plenty work went in behind the scenes. It wasn't just that. Again, as I say, people see book in a chapter.
Let's talk about that first season and Soca Star too as well. It was rumored that you helped written the song that Fireball sing after.
Yeah.
That story went.
Well, that is when I was still wetting my foot as to power and positioning. Let me just say power, positioning. Chasu had the rhythm. The rhythm had at the time Class was singing before he started produce heavy. So it was Class, it was Little Bit. So that's some stunners on the rhythm. The rhythm was that medley video that was big on Synergy. The rhythm, right? Was real big. So Paul Richards called me and said, bro, you're going to flop next year if you ain't get a star out of this season. I'll just being straight with you. And that Paul has always been that straight guy. Granted, he was one of the head judges. Him, Beaver, Paul was there for the aesthetic of understanding the music business in Trinidad space. And being a programmer on one of the biggest urban stations at the time for all them years, right? So his advice was very valid. He said, bro, you need to figure it out. You and Peter, that is all your work. To figure out how to make one of them people who pass there a star. Else people would say the show is a flop. So at the time, Fireball won. So we zeroed in on Fireball. We had to get it for Fireball. I called Chasu. I said, Chasu, I need to get the rhythm. I want to put Fireball. And Chasu told me, you mad? No, my rhythm lock off nothing. And I spoke to a guy. I wouldn't call his name. I'll call his name. Watson Glenroy. Right? And this is when he tell me, he said, bro, you have to show, you have to spread your wings. You have to show your muscle. I said, what do you mean? Hey, bro, you know who you is? You super jigger TC boy. You own Synergy. Everybody's what Synergy for you, dog? I said, what do you mean here? Bro, if you want that rhythm, you have to let him man know you have to get the rhythm. I says nothing. And I went and tell Peter, I said, Peter, take that video off the TV.
What?
I take the video off the TV.
Did I kill? I hear that though.
And I call him. I call Chasu and I said, Chasu, what's going on? If I can get the rhythm, he's not going back on. Because I take a risk, right? And boy, it was bacchanal, obviously. He say, here what, come. If the tune ain't good, me point out the tune, eh? But the universe and God will have it. We have no song. Them time Fireball selling juice in tongue. I went to pick up Fireball by Royal Castle Independence Square. Them time I driving a black Ford truck. I said, let me go by Chasu. Go on by Chasu. On the way to Chasu, as a man real like outside of Soca, when I moves, I listen to real R&B, right? I listening, just in case I don't make it home tonight. Wanna make love. That's what I was listening to. I trying to pick up Fireball. He come in, them time is CD. I pop the CD at the rhythm inside of the thing. And Fireball going, That all the singing at the top there. We driving to St. James because them time he in St. James, the studio in St. James. So this is from Independence Square to St. James. And why he going, I just going, this girl of mine, she's always teasing me. It's the same melody. I double just in case I don't make it. And that is how the song was written in my van on the way to Chasu. And what people heard was one take. Fireball sang once. No, go again. No, it was one take. Wow. And the background vocals was Fridge from H2O Flow. He do it, and Fridge was like, way, and that was it. And Bob Sinclair sang the song through France. It was the number one song in France for a while. Signed, and that's how Fireball got to go to the video. And that was the tune that really, in Trinidad, if you do the back end and you watch the story, made a lot of money out of Trinidad and Tobago. Was signed and did well on the circuit. Yeah, a big song. So that's how that happened. And from there, Still, they ain't want to get made. They're still saying, we see, them time I get away with blacks. And season 2, me and blacks get away.
Yeah.
Because blacks is like, but it's you and he talking about dress up thing and they're not studying the music, blacks.
Yeah.
And me and blacks had to go at it and I try to tell them, bro, you never hear me on Soca Star tell people you're singing out a key. I never spoke music. That's not my role.
Yeah.
My role was creating a show to make people look at and also empower young people to do what they love.
Yeah.
And then that mix there now is when I was forced. And being DJ, our brethren. So Peter Coppin at the time, 9 months a piece out of Barbados. He was the king. He was like the mustard on the beat. Soca back in the days. Yes, the dance. It was him and Shell Shock was the dance. No matter everything. I call him and say, but I need a thing. And he gave me a thing. And that's where your white pants tight. Yeah. Wang. I write for George. I do make your bumper turn in the front.
So you just go to that Soca rampage or something?
Rampage that, yeah. I get them a bad rhythm with real tune on it.
Wow.
And I talking about Bossy Place, and I went by KFC and I signed a deal for George for 150,000 to sing KFC. We like, give me a chicken and my name on it, and I do everything. I lock the whole place, right? Lock the whole place, do everything. They still bad talk me. I say, what is he? Nothing. And grant you, season 2, quadruple the numbers. They still burn me down to the ground.
But why though? What they were saying?
It's just, remember, at the time, they were still trapped into he's a DJ.
Yeah.
Well, you know about the thing. You understand?
Yeah.
They were caught in not understanding vision. Right? So by season 3, I recalibrated. I said, boy, how I could think it, boy. I went by the king, Dan Man himself, by his house, William Monroe, Soca Monarch. I said, bro, I doing 18,000 GNP, Right now, them time Soca Monarch dwindling. I said, 18,000. Youths I could guarantee to come in your place. All you need to do for me is whoever win my show, just put them by you automatically and give them $100,000. And put them in the show. We signed a deal, that was it. Boy, inside of that, I do a jingle. TC, a name calling, watch out your pants are squeezing. That was a jingle, it had no nothing. There's a hook. The hook gets so big. People and all walks of life say I have to be in Soca Monarch final. I end up in Soca Monarch final with a jingle, have no words.
Yeah.
Facts. Because of how big it was.
TC just come on my builder down.
Facts. I went in with a jingle. No song. Because the jingle was so huge and Soca Star had on a Wednesday night, the whole of Trinidad and Tobago, mommy, daddy, everybody used to be in front of the
TV. It had a look.
So how you do have TC Day? What people started calling them old station Power 105. If TC not in Soca Monarch, I cannot go in. And back and all down there. Next thing you know, I see my name come on the papers. I have no song, but I need
All right. You and Shad had that thing going on.
That's way after.
That's way after that come there?
After. No, that's way after. Shal and me,
No, but don't go there yet. We'll go in the middle there.
We'll go in the middle there. So after that is when the things started to get juicy, that year 3. Year 3 now, I had this vision I wanted to do Kaiso Star.
Yeah.
I went to Kroko. You run me like a dog. I never forget that. You run me like a dog. I still hold on to this day. Right? I say, bro, you're not seeing the vision, I went by Derek Chin and secured a room, 2 rooms. I wanted to do a matinee, I wanted to do a Calypso show, 6 in the evening, and then do a next one at 11. I just wanted to jiggy it now. Like get crow, stroke, that's all the heads, and mix them with my artists and them. And then too, I have real favor. I could have called boy, Gallin, KMC, anybody, because them times were things
At that
good.
time, you're good, yeah.
Once I pick up my phone and call a man, geez, where? That's how it was. I said, bro, I had this idea, we go and clean up the Kaiso thing. The man run me like a dog. Them time you see king, in order for it to work. Why Soca Star work is because Marshall was the Dan at the time, and he physically, publicly, everything endorsed it.
Yeah.
For me to do it with Kaiso, I needed Crook to endorse it, and he never endorsed it. And I hurt to this day because I feel I could have had Soca in a space where Karen Ashley and them would have been monster every day. Chucky would have gone away. Not that they're not doing well, but I could have found a space where they have 100 more young people writing Kaiso. So you kind of stifle it out now. So that one bothered me a little bit. So I say, right, cool. I put that aside and I went. Season 4, I come at them again. And his legs started shedding, numbers started to over increase. But like any business, by the time season 6, I started wanting to rebuild because I'm getting older. I want a fresh face. At the time I went Bali boy. And that is very, I look at universe turn it
He's a
out
real
now.
fool, boy.
You understand? Because again, I'm looking for fresh. And at the time, he was fresh.
Who was he next face? You can't remember?
You
Leave that
understand?
there. Leave that there.
You dig?
I remember
So,
next face.
Again, so that is what that
You the
is
boy.
evolution, you know. So I wanted to really take it to the next level, and that didn't work out. But again, look how life come. Look what come and happen down the
No,
road.
forget that now.
So that sometimes you know
How you
sometimes.
draw them two things?
No, because sometimes they say, bro, they say rejection is really a blessing.
Yeah, sometimes, yeah.
You understand? Because I would have been at doggy pants because all my brother that be tapping that came remember he's heavily invested in the thing. So if my thing was going good, like say I was at the point where my thing was earning my revenue with $5 million a year. And it's going on. And people last Sunday all know so all kind of investors out of me and my thing jumping up my house looking to foreclose on and all kind of mad thing like I'm telling
All
you.
because you are doubles.
Yeah, so at the end of the day, you had to sometimes look at it that way, you know. But yeah, that's how that come and inside of that mailing now, I started to get forced to do the singing thing, because I did it and people was like, nah, but you had a thing, so I get forced. So bam, me and GB was always good for my time to live in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
That is Kenwin, not Neutron.
No, God bless. The original God bless.
Original God bless.
Yeah.
That is my personal brethren. I call God bless that time in Toronto. I said, but I needed to meet a man, boy. That was Charles. I had the
So
whole
he don't know God bless what he
no,
said?
he never knew. No, God bless didn't know who Charles was. I said, bro, I needed to meet a brethren of mine. And that is what happened. I call him, and that is when Speaker Box and Motorbike. I sing the two songs. I was trying to be cartel. I sing Speaker Box and Motorbike for myself. Boy, they started saying, nah, boy, TC, boy, they go burn you down to the ground, boy. You cannot do that. And at that time, Charles was now outer girl farm and thing with cool, and he was making her vibes. And me and Charles was always good from youth men. So I say, boy, Shelly, boy, where's he seen? Boy, come in. I came to Toronto and we go and we sit down, we reason with GB. And I present the rhythm and I said, this is what we're going to do. And it was Speaker Box and Motorbike. It's where it started. Where that energy started. You understand? And from there, inside of that pool there, do real monster song. Just coming in
That's real song. That's
What am I favorite?
just coming in that I pen some monster. We do action, we do real tune up in that melee there. You understand? It so happened that life sometimes takes you in the next direction. So musically for me, when 2014 hit and my last daughter came into the world prematurely, very ill, both her and her mother, it shifted my mindset. So that is when I had to take a little kind of drift and had to recalibrate how I would go about doing the thing. You understand? And I never recorded a song from 2014. Like all the songs I put up from 2014 up until I do Come Take a Jam on the Inside were songs I had already rest down.
Serious?
Jam on the Inside was the first tune I penned to come back.
Wow.
Every song I put in between, all them things, my team, all them, the songs I was just rest down. Was just rest down, was material out there because back then,
Hey, plenty material, huh?
Nutri used
real
to, no boy, Nutri was a monster. Boy, Nutri used to have all kind of 100 things, rest down. And next month, any business long time used to be Pretty. When Pretty had come anything and get bite by the bug, Pretty used to have all kind of 40, 50 tune rest down. And it's just about patching up this, patching up that. You understand? But again, mentally I wasn't there. And then you started to do different things. And bam, fast forward to, as we know it now, thing come out. And I always tell people that I'm not guided by, you never tune this season. And I try to encourage, I think I'm the pillar of trying to encourage men who deep in it to absorb and understand how to maneuver when you do have the song. A lot of people don't know how to maneuver when they don't have the song. Once they do have the song, they feel like the world will end and they want to drink poison. Bro, that is nothing.
They vex with everybody.
They vex with everybody. That is nothing. It was never about that for me. Not having a song is never about that. You have to pivot and find things. And I've created platforms inside of that space to give men real shine. My concert series is do quite well. You understand? Men just come and overshine and do the thing, set it in a way where, to the point now where certain people feel if they do concert series, they're not good. You understand? So it's about building different things and doing different things, and that's what it's been. But for me, the journey is very, very long. And I always tell people, I am happy with who I am now. Right? And the direction I'm going now, because I too had real things to unlearn. And remember, we live in a space where I always encourage people, the easiest things is always hard for us. And our business don't deal in calling a man and going, hey, where's you seen bad like that, boy? That real bad. We don't know that. We don't know how to do that. And you could talk to anybody behind my back. That's one thing I live on. I live on that, bro. I always tell people, your vulnerability is your superpower. I live in that world, right? So when I hear a man think, this just recently, Problem Powder thing, Carnival Jumbie Rhythm, tunes stink like dog, I call Problem. I say, yeah, this is it. You encourage me. I do a little show called Great It. I say, boy, you make me want to go and revamp Great It because of that one song.
Yeah.
And that's the space I did live in. You understand? Yeah. So for me, I always say music is a thing where music is music. Music is forever. Yeah. You never know. 2025, I could just come and just sing out one song and it's the song.
Cleaning out the place.
Yeah. And somebody like me, it's never been no scene. It's no, oh, you ever? No, bro. It's just JAIGA singing a great song. Yeah. And I would have a good time and I would just give people love and let's move on. Because you have to understand that's what it is. And when you don't pay respect to the business, it will never work for you.
Business ain't gonna respect
business will respect you. And remember, this is a pagan festival. Everybody is guided by the Catholics. So see, I was starting to understand. We Ash Wednesday. Yeah. See, I didn't know how to bubble in that space too.
Yeah, they respect it.
Yeah, they respect the thing a different way. People don't understand them parts of it. But we ain't into all that deepness. But for me, bro, I am in a different headspace as I tell you mentally too. I believe that my passion now is to really try and be a pillar of realness for men who just don't see it. Because like I tell you, I just tell men, it's a youth man I'm meeting these days, 12, 13, who never hear I love you. And the word I love you is considered a sexual connotation to them. They don't understand that love have nothing to do with sex.
Yeah.
So we in a real weird space now, and men have to understand themselves in this space that we're in. Because it ain't easy. And we not talk about certain things, but there's pillars, brother, in this thing. I tell everybody emotional intelligence is not something you have to go to university for, and there's 4 pillars of emotional intelligence. Is 1, understanding your emotions, understanding somebody else's emotions, you understand, navigating your relationships, and being aware, being self-aware to see somebody's emotions, and having empathy, bro. In COVID, we see all who had no empathy. Look at how employers treat people like dog. So it was a good eye-opener. So if men didn't understand how to pivot and change their mindset over the past couple of years, whatever I'm to is on you. You dig? Just how you operate, how you show up every day is very important. Like I tell men, it have nothing hard in saying good morning. Yeah. Good morning can change a man's life, bro. Sometimes we carry burdens, we carry people feel for what reason. Your mother don't talk to Miss Jane for the past 13 years. You ain't talking to Miss Jane and Miss Jane never do nothing. You have to be your own person.
Correct. Yeah.
You dig? So at the end of the day, I think I have plenty left in me to go with other things that I'm very excited about. But there are real more stories in the next leg of my life because I am on the next quest now to do some other things that I know people will really appreciate. You dig? Yeah. So that is where I am at, me personally. That's the energy I am pushing. You dig? I just want to make youth men understand that it's about unlearning all the old stupidness we learn. When your mother telling you you want to late for school children, that's derogatory, and something I'll leave all with. It might sound petty. When you're healing a man, right? Oh, my brother, how you going? You're good? Stop do that. That's derogatory. You know what I'm saying? You have to stop do that.
How come?
When you heal a man, bro, give him the courtesy to find out to answer you. Because you never know what that person going through in that moment. Yeah. When they say, hey, how you going? Stop. Listen attentively to the answer. We have a way we operate where we just listen to answer. We don't listen attentively. You just have certain relationships too. A man and a girl quarreling, and he just want to get he point in. He not listening to what she's saying. Correct. So sometimes, bro, just pause. If a man heal you, you'll always get that from me. Anybody know that? If I stop and I ask you how you're going, it's because I really want to answer. If I don't have time, I will never ask you how you're going. I will say, oh, what's hi, and keep it pushing. People take it for granted. But it's very important that we stop and listen. Because in this time that we live in, you never know. That 5 or 8 minutes you give somebody could change your whole life. It's a man who healing, and passing, and they're going to kill themselves, Yeah. And you could have prevent that just by listening to what they have to go through in that 8 minutes. And the perspective might change because life is about perspective. We go outside there right now, you will tell me the sky black, I be saying no, it's orange. Because my perception is my reality, not yours, you think? So that was the TED Talk for today. Only got that one free. Right now, I'm getting bread to do all of them. That's your real bread. Right now, I'm getting plenty bread to do them things.
Definitely appreciate it, boy.
Love and blessings.
Very
all the
insightful,
time.
boy. Thank you so much for passing through, boy, TC, boy. Good vibes, boy.
Anytime. Right?
For the people who listen, if they want to get in contact with you,
JAIGA TC on all platforms. I keep it simple. And bro, keep doing your thing too. It's not like I see what you're doing. Keep doing your thing. Can't keep that that energy. Always try. I see you had started a thing and stuff where you used to do little videos and try and bring. You was posting up videos about little things that you would say, did you know, and you were trying to do.
No,
and
well, actually,
I know it hard.
That going upwards.
Right,
So
right,
it was for a little while because the people working on it. But people working on it right now.
Right, so them
that
things,
proper.
them things, you have to keep doing them things
Yeah,
and keep
that
doing
proper,
your thing,
that
bro.
proper, that
You
proper.
understand? Each one help one, my brother.
All the time.
Right?
All right,
Love.
brother.